Even in harsh conditions, DuPont Tedlar-based backsheets provide greater system lifetime power output and investment returns. Materials matter.
Hello and welcome to this week's PV Tech Newscast. Coming up, market pressures squeezing BOS manufacturers, IBC Solar lands 50 megawatt contract for solar plants in Romania, Q3 sales and revenue fall at Trina Solar, and Conergy supplies modules for Thai orphanage project. According to new research, pressures to drive down costs will push many balance of system manufacturers to the edge and ultimately result in a less crowded market. A report by GTM Research has said that balance of system technologies are being targeted over PV modules to deliver the next round of cost reductions for solar, therefore making the market increasingly tough for many players. In 2008, PV modules accounted for 67% of the average cost of a solar project. But because of improvements in cell and module technologies, it's now balance of system costs that are seen as problematic, accounting for 68% of a project's costs. Now, as a result, balance of system manufacturers around the world are being squeezed. Solar PV solution provider IBC Solar was awarded a 50 megawatt contract from Tinmar Ind, a Romanian power supplier and energy trading company, to build several PV plants in Romania. The PV projects will be developed in 3 counties. More than 20 megawatts are already under construction and expected to be completed before the end of this year, while grid connection and electricity feed-in is anticipated to be finished in the first quarter of next year. The remaining 30 megawatts are being planned, although the company has said that construction is expected to start before the end of 2012. However, the Romanian National Energy Regulatory Authority has now suggested that the number of green certificates awarded to investments in PV and biomass should be cut, but gave no further details on just how severe these cuts could be. Tier 1 PV module manufacturer Trina Solar has reported revenue of $298 million, down 13.9% compared to the previous quarter. The company indicated that Q4 2012 module shipments would be flat to slightly up at between 380 to 400 megawatts, compared to the third quarter of 2012, when shipments have been reported as 380 megawatts. Trina Solar also revised down full-year shipment guidance to between 1.55 gigawatts to 1.6 gigawatts, compared to the previous guidance of 1.75 gigawatts to 1.8. The company has also reported a net loss in the third quarter of $57.5 million, compared to $92.1 million in the second quarter of 2012. German Development Bank KfW has signed off a €128 million loan to the Moroccan Agency for Solar Energy to build a concentrated solar power plant in the south-central area of the country. The 160 megawatt solar thermal plant will be constructed in Ouarzazate, with further plans expected to take the total in the area up to 500 megawatts. The Moroccan Agency for Solar Energy has signed a 25-year power purchase agreement with a consortium led by Saudi Arabia-based ACWA Power International for electricity generated by a proposed 160 megawatt CSP plant in Morocco. The deal is worth $1 billion. Speaking at the Conference of African Energy Ministers and All Africa Energy Week, the EU Development Commissioner has pledged EU support for the construction of a 22 megawatt PV power plant in Zagtouli, Burkina Faso. Currently, only 15% of the Burkinabe population have access to electricity, and the country heavily depends on energy imports. EU support for the power plant amounts to $32 million, with the European Investment Bank and the French Development Agency providing loans of approximately $48 million. IBC Solar, an integrator of PV systems, has completed and connected a 5 megawatt solar park in Italy in a record 49 days. Built on the outskirts of the small town of Maniago in northern Italy, work began on the project at the end of July and was completed in just 7 weeks, making it 2 weeks ahead of schedule. And finally, systems supplier Conergy has provided 324 modules to the Yawawit School and Lodge, a home for orphans and disadvantaged children in Kapong in Phang Nga province in southern Thailand. The solar project will generate 227,400 watt-hours of electricity per day. It was brought to fruition after receiving donations from Conergy, the German embassy in Thailand, who supplied almost $20,000, freight carrier Logwin Air, and Ocean Thailand. In addition to supplying modules, Conergy also planned the development of the solar plant for free and provided the essential solar components. Well, that's all for this week. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.